Good afternoon, everyone. If I could have your attention up front, I know a few of you are still making your way back to your seats. It is very exciting to be with you all here at our 2015 Fall Conference at the Reagan Ranch. I always say it's incredibly humbling to be up here because just 5 years ago, I was sitting in those same seats that you are. And I came here as a liberal. So I was just here because it's like California, beautiful weather, like why not? I just came, I had no idea what the foundation was about. And I was just, sure, free trip to California. And I sat in the back because I was really not interested in paying attention. I just wanted to get outside. And lo and behold, my life was changed that first day. So I'm a believer in the foundation's mission. I think that we are well equipped to prepare you to go back to your campuses to fight for conservative values, because it really is a fight. I know we have a lot of students here from Mizzou. I know you guys are really going through it right now, so we're here for you all the way. I know it's incredibly difficult out there, but we're so excited to have all of you, and we want you to know that if you need anything throughout this weekend, if you have issues with your roommate because they snore too loud or anything along those lines, please come find a staff member. We're all here. Pat Coyle's in the back. I'm up here. Haley Jones. We're all around. We'd be more than willing to help in any way that we can. So to introduce our first speaker, I'm going to bring up my colleague Haley Jones.
Is the vaginal canal magical? Does it confer livelihood? Does it confer life? Was this not a life, and then it passed through a body part, and magically it's life? Like that's infanticide, and you should say it's infanticide. It is infanticide. If you're in partial birth, abortion is infanticide. Even for people who are extreme on abortion, you have to be so fully dishonest, intellectually dishonest, not to recognize that a baby 1 minute before birth is a baby. That the argument ends there. I mean, there really is no argument beyond that. That's pure evil. That is pure evil. That is, you are blinding yourself to a pure, simple human fact. That is a baby. So, and if she still argues, then there's nothing you can do about that. Some people want to blind themselves to facts. So much of so much of leftism is based on the "please don't ruin my day" syndrome. Right? There's a reason that the left doesn't want to look at the Planned Parenthood videos, because that would actually force them to comprehend and confront the fact that they are okay with chopping up babies in the womb, and that these babies have hands and arms and organs and brains and faces, and so they don't want to look at any of that. All of leftism is based on willful. It's either ignorance or willful ignorance, and willful ignorance is actually evil.
Okay.
The last question. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm Henry Talmark from German State University. Please don't misconstrue what I'm saying by any chance. I don't completely agree with what's happening down in Mizzou. Mm-hmm. The way they went about it, I'm not saying that I agree with it, but I'm a bit lost by when you say that their vision isn't. You said it's
not the same as the conservative vision.
Yeah, I understand that. But when you say that it's not right, do you mean by bring up the facts and points that's been going on in Mizzou is wrong, or the way they went about it is wrong?
Okay, so it depends on. So there's a couple things that's wrong with what the kids are doing at Mizzou. One is that their goal is wrong. Ousting administrators who are actually doing everything that they legally could to stop what was going on, which is what happened. I mean, if you actually look at the individual cases, that's wrong. You don't oust people. You don't indict the entire system for individual acts of evil, right? By that standard, you call for the impeachment of President Obama because something racist happened at Mizzou, right? Obama's the head of America, right? So that's number one. Number two, the way that they have been approaching this, not only by calling for firings of people who actually didn't do anything, but also by setting up black-only safe space, right? I mean, that's self-segregation. That's wrong. Beyond that, the race hoaxing that is happening, the exaggeration of what's happening on campus is utterly beyond me. And what I mean by that is that we've seen multiple cases in Mizzou of things that have been race hoaxed. So, for example, the president of the student body there, the student government, that guy's name is Peyton Head. Peyton Head was the originator of the. I was walking along on campus and a bunch of white guys drove by in a truck and yelled the N-word at me. Right, which, if it's true, is horrible, obviously. They didn't investigate. He didn't even make a police report, first of all. If you want people to actually take you seriously, you need to make a police report and you need to report it so there can be an investigation. Otherwise, we're ghost hunting. Otherwise, we're just... I like solutions to problems. And okay, so that's number one. His statement that this is happening provided no possible solution because he couldn't track down the people. He gave no information. He didn't make a police report. And in fact, when a similar group of students did make a police report about a drunk white guy, the administration tracked down the drunk white guy and moved him off campus, and he's now in the process of possibly being expelled. So when you present evidence, then there will actually be ramifications to that. He didn't. The same guy said 2 days ago that the KKK had been spotted on campus. Needless to say, the KKK had not been spotted on campus because the KKK has not been a major force in American life for a very long time. And, you know, and they weren't filming Birth of a Nation. The exaggeration that has attended so much of what's going on, the idea that microaggressions, what they're calling microaggressions, are something that ought to be fought against by the administration, to me is actually nasty. Okay, I'll tell you why. The term microaggression, there are a couple of things that the Mizzou students have been saying that are stupid. Okay, the white privilege point is stupid because the idea that just because you're white, you have some inherent privilege in American society, it's just not true. It depends on who the white person is. Right? There are more white people on welfare than there are black people on welfare. The fact is that Colin Powell's son has it a hell of a lot better than any of the people who are growing up in Appalachia, right? So to suggest that there is a universal white privilege that attaches to you because you're a white person, the truth is I can make a pretty strong counter-argument that there is a black privilege that attaches to programs like affirmative action and subprime housing and the EEOC's specific employment policies, right? Because when I got into UCLA, I had to have a higher score as a Jewish kid than some black people had to have getting into UCLA because there are quasi-affirmative action programs at UCLA. So that's number one. Number two, they've been talking about microaggressions. Microaggression is actually white privilege is basically shut up, you're white, you don't get to talk because you're white. And if you deny white privilege, that's just proof of your white privilege, which is incredibly Orwellian. Microaggression, which is the other thing they argue about, is they say that I have been microaggressed. If I find something insulting, you don't even have to intend it to be insulting. Right now, everything that I'm saying, I don't intend it to be insulting clearly, but if you're insulted by it, I have microaggressed you. And what they want, and all these kids on campus want, and this is the dangerous part, is they want to be able to pull a gun on somebody who microaggresses. Okay, microaggression, the term itself is horrible. It's not a micro-insult. It's not even a mistaken insult. It's an aggression, right? How do you meet aggression? I'm a dude. Someone aggresses me, I punch them, right? If somebody touches me or punches me, I hit back. That's aggression is met with aggression in civilization, right? To suggest that words are aggression and thus must be met with the students being banned from campus or the police being called for hurtful or hateful feelings, their agenda is wrong. They're exaggerating the facts of the case, and they're not even, and in some cases they're outright lying. The hunger striker is outright lying. Jonathan Butler, the kid who supposedly was hit by a car by the president, it's on tape. He ran into the car. He literally runs into the car. You can see it. The car is moving backwards. He starts following the car. The car reverses and moves about 6 inches forward, and he proceeds to bump into it about this hard. That's seriously, you can watch the tape. It's amazing. And then he claimed that he proceeded to claim that he had been aggressed by the president. The president apologized because he's a huge lefty pansy. This is the reason why leftists only try this garbage on leftist university campuses, because leftists are pansies and they surrender to other lefties. Right? They tried this. They tried this with the right wing. If they tried Mitch Daniels, right, at Purdue, they tried this there, he would shut this down in a New York minute. So they don't want the same things. They lie about these cases, and then they suggest that you're a racist if you disagree with them. Okay, the black students at Mizzou who are doing this, and it's not all black students, the black students who are doing this at Mizzou said they took their lead from what was happening in Ferguson, Missouri. Ferguson, Missouri was a lie. Michael Brown, according to Eric Holder's Department of Justice, Eric Holder is a racist, and Eric Holder's Department of Justice found that Michael Brown was justifiably shot. Right, that Michael Brown was shot for good reason because he tried to grab a gun off a cop, assaulted the cop, punched him in the face, tried to run, turned around, and then charged the cop, according to the testimony of multiple witnesses, all of whom were black. Right, and they say, well, the protest movement that started in Ferguson, we brought it to Mizzou. Okay, first of all, the idea that if universities are such racist places of racism and sexism and rape, if they're all hotbeds of all of these things, there's only one group in America that ought to be blamed, and it's the left, because there hasn't been a Republican in a position of power on a university campus since Woodrow Wilson was president. So that is my short take on what's going on University of Mizzou. Thanks so much.